honestly, no, it was pretty easy.
It's pretty simple to sum up.
Yeah, it is. So we begin our encounter with the Guardian, who took the form of an Earth Elemental. But it wasn't too long before we realized that this wasn't going to be just a straight up fight. Halfir took the initiative in trying to initially unbalance the scales, which actually caused the elemental to start actually attacking. Through some experimenting and some uh, blows thrown, some buffing given, we discovered that we could control how the scales tipped. So we leaned toward tipping them on the side of wheel. Eventually, we did unbalance the scales entirely, to which it opened up. Uh, it spoke to us, and then it opened up. Eventually, the earth elemental kind of disappeared as well. Inside of the scales was a kind of a pile of loot, a runic orb, a couple other items, and some coins. I dove in straight for the orb and just kind of took a handful of coins, leaving the rest of it to everyone else. I then saw something. Halfir saw something, but none of you know what he saw because he ain't telling you that. Um, After the vision, though, Halfir grabbed Soul and whispered to him that they are coming and that we need to prepare, but didn't give any more explanation to that. Afterward, we just kind of out of character split up the loot, and we called the session there.
Yes. Um,
Lee, just a reminder.
yeah,
Earth Essence.
yes. I am literally just moving it up now.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So it's something you guys would have seen immediately after the elemental had died, been destroyed, however you want to put it. Whether or not you want to pick it up is up to you. In the bits of what you could constitute as its body, you see one single ball of rock, not exactly a perfect sphere by any means. Has little bits of protrusions here and there, but there's a little bit of a vibration around it every couple of seconds, almost akin to a heartbeat. But for those of you more magically inclined, you know that it's the essence of the elemental itself after it was destroyed. It's sort of like its connection to the world. If at any point a master arcanist or someone with any degree of elemental superiority or knowledge, they would use that in like rituals, in some potions in some cases, or even to bind the elemental back to this plane and summon it. The essence itself otherwise doesn't do anything. It is just a very useful ingredient that you can use for any manner of occasion. And I am going to take the assumption that you guys are picking it up.
Yes.
Oh, why not?
Okay, I put it under your party items. It doesn't have anything written on it, but that's just how it will stay for now. As you all pick yourselves up after having a little showdown, you have these extra orb with you. You take a couple of minutes to kind of take a breath and look around for a moment. Little portions of the cave are making some gentle sounds of movement. You can kind of hear plates moving a little bit above, and you see little trickles of rocks falling from the ceiling here and there, these tiny pebbles at first. But you guys know that you're probably on something of a countdown in this room. At the moment, it seems like you've got at least maybe half hour. Maybe.
Okay. I don't see any reason to stay in here any longer. No sense in waiting. No sense in waiting for that.
When it looks like the roof is coming down, is it just this room or the entire area?
Looks like this room at the moment. You can't tell from the area adjacent at the moment.
I think it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
I cannot agree more.
so I'll just casually boop. So you come back to this area, sort of similar to before. The liquid kind of drippings look similar to what you saw before with the slime. They are spread kind of roughly over where all the mushrooms are. What are you guys doing? As you do come through here, it doesn't seem at the moment like there's any real shifting. You think you're probably safe for the moment.
We know that if we go back, we are surrounded once again with kobolds on one side, goblins on the other.
What about that other sphere you picked up? Could that potentially open a new gateway somewhere?
Don't know what it's done.
You now looking around, as you've spent a couple of seconds here, you feel your orb, Jeff, has it's heated up a little bit, and wherever you've put it, if you've still got it clutched in your hand or stashed away,
It's stashed away currently.
okay, you feel a slight rumbling from it, and after a couple seconds more, it comes flying out from wherever it was contained, hovers roughly a few feet above each of you, and it seems to be kind of just floating for a moment, in almost like it's got its own gravity as it drifts a little in a small circular space. And the word that once said joy now just says nothing. And you see the colour drain out of the orb, and these little specks, these rays of reddish light come soaring out of it and flying off toward where you guys initially came through here. The area you created the portal the first time. And as those rays fly off and out to freedom, the orb drops down, and assuming you catch it, you feel it for a moment as you see that thing fly away. It still feels like there's life in it, so to speak. It seems whatever that was is just gone. You don't exactly know where to start with guessing.
Okay.
What does everybody like to do?
Harry just looks very plainly, it just points up and like, is that supposed to happen, or am I being somewhat tricky as in to think that we have somewhat caught something?
I don't know, but there's nothing we can do about it while we're in here, or even under this mountain.
Very much.
Do you proceed out?
Oh, you said about not really being an accident and being surrounded by kobolds, but when we were up on the altar, there was like a little cave entrance or exit behind us, and there seemed to be a table of somewhat goods behind us.
Well, Lee, because this is that, obviously not this room, but the direction in which we were heading before we dropped down in here would have been the direction I would have actually come into the mountain, correct?
Yeah.
So would I need to roll anything, or would I have a pretty good idea of like the way out going that direction?
From when you came in, you know that there was maybe one or two other paths you could have taken, but it seemed a pretty straight road, really. You could literally word it as hug the wall, and you would never be wrong, as long as you hugged perfectly the right side wall.
that old trick of putting your hand on the left side of the wall of the maze, and you'll get out of it.
Yeah.
I know the way out. We might still have to go through some goblins or something, but well, I don't think goblins are going to be too much trouble at the moment.
Maybe not. Just anything else.
Well, and if you're wanting to stay in here and starve to death, that's on you. I am leaving.
It makes a good point.
What makes you think I want to stay? I don't plan to stay in this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna start walking toward the like where we came in.
Mm-hmm.
We'll jump. Oh, jump.
Are we all back to full health after the previous fight?
No.
We haven't rested yet.
As you get to this part of the field, you notice the direction the rays went off to have left behind what looked to be a ready kind of opening that looks more like a mirror or a window toward where you were, and it's just seemingly cracked open an exit or entryway back to the other place. As of the moment, from what you can see, it shows the view as if you were where the rock was above the monument, and looking out, you can't see any other creatures here at the moment, and it sounds rather muted, but you're not sure if that's just because the split only allows sight, or if it's really that quiet.
Before we walk through this, looking at everyone around me, and we did just come out of a fight, how do they look?
As of the moment, all things being said, everyone's pretty well. I mean, not considering what they've expended, health-wise, they will look pretty fine.
Okay.
Like,
I'm on
never
11
mind.
HP.
Yeah? I'm less than half.
oh, sorry, it's different on the map. I don't know why.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's- It should have updated.
I mean, we're okay to be full health if that's what the god says.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it not updated?
I mean,
though?
I can get everyone to full health pretty quickly.
Also, as benevolent as I can be, no.
So how are those since the?
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, my token updated fine. How is everyone's health looking? Like, would I be able to visually see how hurt everyone is? Obviously, I can see Soul is probably.
I
pretty
would
beat up.
say so, yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 30, I would say about 12.
Yeah.
Huh, what weird
Uh,
number choice, bud.
There's a very odd scale. Yeah. What about Carrick and Varnex? Actually,
Varnick,
and even Brick.
Everyone's at least in around half.
Okay.
For what
I'll
little that
use-
matters with Carrick.
third.
I'll use my last spell slot now. I'll cast Healing Spirit.
Mm.
Did I say third? I meant second.
I was gonna say.
Right here. So you guys can walk through that. Basically, there can be how many do I have? 7 heals worth. No, sorry, not 7. Good God, that would be a lot. 5 heals worth. So you guys can walk through that like 5 times total between all of you, and you will get
There you go.
1d6 hit points per time you walk through it.
There's
Do
your.
we roll the d6?
Lee, the fuck's that?
It says it's shaped like a fey spirit. So.
Nice. Yeah. So you guys can walk through that and roll a d6 per time you walk through.
Sure.
So. Are they healing that number of times?
How much can I roll?
You can do it up to 5 times between all of you.
1. Between all of us?
Yeah.
So there's 5
Okay,
for
so
the
never
total
mind.
group.
No.
Everybody-
Ignore the second one.
Everybody gets to roll themselves a 5d6.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, Healing Spirit used to be that broken.
Jeez.
They didn't like because Healing Spirit didn't used to have a limit on it.
That's no. Ew.
So we can each roll 5d6s.
No.
No.
No. So
No, it's
one
not.
uses.
It's
There's
between
four.
everyone.
There's 4 uses left. Mosey used 1 already.
So
Alright, so if you need help, start walking through it.
spread it out between you. In other words, who wants to take a
I'll
dose?
I'll take 1 because I literally only need 1.
Okay, so that's 2 of the 5. Oof,
That's fine.
of course.
Because
I don't need any. I'm at 25 out of 26 health, so I'm good.
I'd say out of everyone, I'm probably the healthiest in the terms of HP loss because
Double.
luckily I used second. Yeah, I used second wind to actually heal a good amount of my health back.
Yeah, my wild shape protects me from a lot of damage, so I've only taken 1 damage to my actual health.
We have 3 more. Who wants?
I roll. I need health.
Take it.
Nice. The duality. 2 more.
If you need more, then take it because you're frontline. So
I would say
Actually, does Brick need to take 1 out?
uh,
Or is he good?
Brick does, and I would definitely say Mosey should have another one. Or if we're going for frontline preference, then Vonix.
what do you prefer? Because I can just misty step away.
Oh damn!
Just Misty
Honestly.
Step. Alright, here. The 6s are rolling well. Alright, cool.
So 1 more.
1 more use.
Cool.
Vonix, you getting it?
If I look at Sol and myself, between us, who would need healing more?
Situational.
Statistically, him.
All right. If that's what God says.
Hey, God just gave you the statistics. God can smite the living hell out of him one way or another, HP or not.
Yeah, God was one of us.
I'm a monk. I'm tough. Let the human go.
So are you gonna?
While they're sitting there deciding, like, I can only concentrate on this for 60 seconds.
Pick!
Oh,
I thought I walked ahead.
Oh,
I thought I
go.
walked ahead.
So Mosey, roll a d6.
I'm gonna roll the d6.
Alright,
Alright.
there we go.
That's pretty
bad.
pretty well. And it goes poof! Okay.
Hope I don't need a second level spell slot.
Nope.
But the health is worth it. Okay.
Okay, move your aces there, and I will make sure that your tokens are actually fucking working on the other map.
Yeah, when they changed the token stuff, the health stuff got all messed up.
What a surprise! What was the problem we had last time with was it characters where when you make a new character and link it to a sheet, it locked the HP and AC? I think they fixed
Yes.
it,
Yep.
which I mean should have been done in the first place, but I mean.
Have you been grabbing your free stuff from the Roll20 Con?
You damn right. I haven't actually had a proper look at any of it yet, but
the sample, like the map sample pack, is nice. It's super nice. There's a bunch of stuff in it.
is it literally just pre-made maps, or is it actually map bits?
It's so it's pre-made map. There's a bunch of pre-made maps, but they come from his actual packs where you can customize your maps. Because I have the forest one with his. And then there's also like little like map bits that you can put in. So like I think there's like a pile of bones, some like mummy stuff, and just random stuff like that. There's quite a bit in it actually.
Starts finding stats for the mummy to throw at them later. Which unironically could actually happen.
And
So-
there's like 12 different ship layouts too.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Tease my archipelago adventures.
Yummy.
So you all get your healing. Do you actually all go through the port?
Sure.
I guess we have because we're back here.
Well, I've only thrown you there for now.
You can stay there if you'd like to.
Yeah. If you want to stay eternally in that.
Varnix just left on his own. Nah, peer pressure. We all go through.
Peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure. So as you all slowly wander through, as you take a step forward and through, you drop about 2 feet, land very gently on the top of the monument. The stairs have returned slowly over the last minute or so. You can still kind of hear them unfurling, so to speak, and crashing outward and winding down the monument. As you get here, specifically Halfir, you feel the natural energies coming off of this monument like a wave. The very essence of the earth itself is being empowered, and though there won't be any immediate boons to this, the fact that this monument has been unlocked means that the energy that was conserved to imprison whatever that thing was is now better spent to revitalizing the land. And maybe, not in you guys' lifetime, could be, if you're lucky, this place could become a bountiful domain for the earth itself. But for the time being, I will be right back real quick. I got to take chicken out before I do food for later. Otherwise I will be waiting an hour. Ha ha ha. Go back.
Okay.
Gives me time to finish my food.
This is a good time to go to the toilet. BRB.
Yeah. I'm gonna go make some popcorn.
Mostly you and your popcorn.
Dude,
I love it.
making popcorn like yourself, not like from the like take a pot, put some kernels in, and this is also way healthier and way better because you can put a lot of spices. So that's
Oh,
what you do.
Yeah. I
Because
can't eat popcorn right now, and so I'm a little jealous.
Really, why?
I have my wisdom teeth that I gotta get taken out, and anytime I eat popcorn, it just, it hurts.
How long ago?
How long ago, what?
How long ago did you take the wisdom teeth out?
No, they've gotta come out. They've broken through the
Okay.
gums, and
I see.
popcorn is one of those foods that will make it hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what, soft food and stuff?
No, it's because the like the shells of the kernels themselves will lodge into the gum and irritate it.
Ah, yes, okay, yeah.
Go eat your
Double-sided
popcorn.
sword.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I'm slightly jealous because I shouldn't eat popcorn nowadays.
I love popcorn.
It's because I had surgery on my gum not so long ago, and basically it was because I had like my gum was like pretty much overinflamed,
Oh yeah.
and it started covering my tooth.
Oh
So I
wow.
had- yeah,
Holy
so
cow,
I had
what,
to have-
what caused it? What caused all that swelling?
something got stuck in, and normally, you know, like if something gets stuck in, sort of like your gum/tooth canal, pretty much that it'll a lot of the time it should just wash out naturally through just drinking fluids and stuff. Well, it got lodged in pretty deep and stayed, and then it infected the gum, and it also I think blocked up the blood flow. So it was a mixture of the gum was infected as well as the fact that due to the blood flow was blocked, it started sort of like overflowing and swelling.
What the hell am I listening
The
to?
gum tissue probably started dying then.
Yeah. Lee, do you remember when I had to have surgery on my gum?
Yes.
Yeah, just talking about that.
Uh-huh.
So,
I suppose you went to go get popcorn.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So with the fact that since I've had that surgery, There was like a little hole pocket, but nowadays I just try and avoid eating popcorn because it has recovered, but sometimes a few things will get stuck around that bit.
Kind of irritate it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to irritate it again, and I know for a fact popcorn is the main thing that will get lodged and stuck.
Popcorn in
kernels.
general, just, ugh. It just
What?
is a pain.
Do you not
It's
like
so-
popcorn?
I like
It's such
popcorn,
a-
I just don't like having to chew into the thing and then just it's stuck
Yeah, it's
there.
just the responsibilities that come with popcorn.
It's just a response.
You have to sign a risk disclaimer every time you buy it.
It's true though. Every time you have popcorn, it has the responsibilities of the fact that you could have a kernel lodge up in your fucking gums and you spend like 2 to 3 days trying to fucking unstuck it with your
Selling
tongue. You're like,
popcorn to kids.
"Mm."
Selling popcorn to kids. Are you responsible enough to get this?
Okay.
No, you don't get out of the kids stuff because that's the fun they can have and they can discover the suffering that's having a kernel stuck up there.
Let the kids discover suffering.
Exactly.
It builds character.
Yeah, exactly. It's the easy way of introducing suffering to a child. Just give them popcorn.
That sounds like a motto in Hellraiser. Let them discover suffering. It's character building.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Suffering, but for kids.
We have
So,
such sights to show you.
slowly
Hold it
drawing
on.
away
Go
from
popcorn.
this odd... Yeah.
You're welcome,
Is most-
stream.
Is Mosi back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Change of
so...
plans. I made tons of rice and the container doesn't fit all of it, so I got rice instead. Mm-hmm.
As well, I'm going to do myself, and possibly all of you, a slight ease of access. Because, I don't know about you, but the map is buggy as fuck for me, so there we go. All nice and
Because
unlocked.
It's because the updated dynamic lighting is not optimized correctly.
Of course.
The legacy lighting is much smoother.
Right, I mean, it's not going to really spoil anything, to be honest, but for the sake of slightly more enjoyment, I ask that you guys zoom in far enough that you can see a decent chunk around you, but not enough to spoil yourselves. Take that as you will. There will be no characters on screen visible until you need to see them. So, let's carry on.
Too late, I saw the whole map.
I mean, that's fine. Doesn't mean you know what's there. I could have a fucking beholder. You know, 3 bosses in a row, why not? It'd be a dragon yeah, it'd be a dragon next.
Yeah, okay. So has there, because we took a long rest in there and we've been in there a long time, is there anything that I can notice that's visibly different? Maybe traces of creatures that have come in and out of here since we've not been in this room?
Make a perception or investigation check.
Well, you know which one I'm doing. Well, it sucks. Okay.
I'm gonna be right back for one. I need to play down.
Okay.
But I'll have my headset on.
You aren't sure. There was nothing when you left, nothing when you got back. Unless you had a better look around, there's nothing that you know for certain. Everything's roughly where you saw it, even the fire's still going.
Now, trying to lead everyone out while I head down this way. So I know we came down here and fought some stuff. Looking at this from my character, so it would be opposite, right or left, do I remember which way would be the optimal way to basically get out of this place?
The way you came in was through the right, so it's the side that you know.
So you're talking through the character's right, which would be our left? or
Map right.
Map right, okay. Stage right.
Stage right.
Okay. So I shall begin walking that way. And I'm gonna turn to everyone, and there is still that Minotaur that walking around, and possibly more goblins or other things. I do suggest that we maybe take this slowly, quietly as we can.
Can we hear anything?
At the minute, no. Not even the sounds of runaway goblins or fighting, or even a gentle step or two. Even the wind is slightly muffled.
We deaf?
Possibly.
Alternatively, if you wanted, I could... Well, I could turn into a spider and look ahead a while. Scout ahead. Or we can just move as a group.
Save your spells. Clearly we
Oh,
can't
it's
hear
not.
anything.
It's not a spell. It's the same thing that allows my spores to kind of come to life.
If it's something you can freely do, then it's up to you by all means.
Let me think about it. I would like to kind of stealth up a little bit before I make that decision. Just kind of walk up quietly. Because that will be my last wild shape for the rest. Oh my god,
You are...
these rules.
You believe you're being stealthy, and as you're moving, there's a bit of tenseness with all the silence that creeps up, and every now and again you'll kick a small rock that you don't see, or you'll land a little too heavy on your feet. And so, this first area, you would know is a kitchen area, or to whatever vague description they consider a kitchen. It contains food and tables and general crates and the like.
Is this door closed when we get to it, or is it open?
It's closed.
I would like to kind of crack it open and get a really quick glance to see if there's anyone in there currently.
Okay.
Is there a keyhole to look through?
There appears to be, yes.
Oh, well then I'll try to do that instead.
Okay. So, as you kind of peek inside just a little bit, crack it, just kind of look through, you glance what looks to be a goblin hunched over dead, with what looks to be an arrow in its back, as well as a couple of wounds that you could just about make out. Its body is like splayed onto the table, its arms over the edge. And then just a little further to the right of that is a similar circumstance, another goblin. You see carved into its back what looks to be the symbol of a claw, maybe? It's more artist's interpretation. It just looks like a series of cuts in a circular shape with a weird sort of hand.
Okay.
The bodies look relatively fresh, within about an hour or so.
I will relay that information back to those behind me.
They're all dead.
It appears so. Carvings in their backs and the like. I don't see anything that's done it, but they look rather fresh, so whatever's done it probably isn't too far off. Whether
think
they
we
are
can go
friend
in.
or foe is unknown.
I think we can go in. Still, we should stay quiet.
Yep, I will open the door and push my way in.
Okay. As you squeak the door open very gently, you look around. As you look off towards the pathway you came from, you see the body of a bugbear off onto the right, his body slumped against the supporting pillar. What looks to be a warhammer, still relatively grasped in his hand, head lolled to the side. As Brick wanders in, he kind of looks around. He doesn't look with any real concern or sadness. It seems more out of respect for his kin that he gives a moment of just watching.
It will be. I can imagine Solo looking down. What a bitch. What's that?
Fucking nerd. Poof.
I took on an elemental. What did you take on? Obviously not something
Diabetes.
you can take on. Diabetes.
I hope
Beta.
Brick is all of that.
What?
You said there were arrows in one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one.
Can I pull the arrow out and inspect it?
So as you pull it out, you give it a decent yank. Just beneath the arrow's tip is what looks to be this red feather that has these little black tips at the end of the feather. Beyond that, there's no real markings. It's not like a mastered arrow or anything. The tip is even still slightly, it's bending a little bit and it's snapping a little from the shaft of the arrow.
So it's unlikely that I can tell what race fired it.
Not particularly, not unless you saw something else from that same race's contribution.
Alright. I was trying to do that bit from Legolas in Lord of the Rings where he knew it was orcs that fired the arrow. Alright, since I can't figure anything out from it, I just put the arrow back on the desk, not in him.
Just gently squish it back in. Okay.
Out of curiosity,
Mm.
is this like a kitchen area? I'm
Yeah.
assuming. Is any of the food fresh looking that's on these tables?
Yeah, it looks like before all the shit went to fan, they were doing some kind of big meal. There's an assortment of meats and quite a lot of veg, surprisingly.
Is that like a pork joint or something?
Sure.
Yeah, Eric's just gonna eye that up and just you go at the table and just start eating. Just go.
As you go to grasp it and you pull it toward your mouth, you're just like, "Ah!" And then you notice there's
You
this,
do know they eat humans, right?
there's this big blood splatter along one side of it from the goblin who was decimated against
Murdered.
it. Yeah.
Right there.
Carrick just looks at it.
I tell
Yeah,
Carrick,
it's-
you know they eat humans.
So I sort of look and just say, "What makes you think this?" Carrick starts waving it around, being like, "What makes you think this is a human joint?"
Okay, this is going to sound very meta, because this is the fact I know of. Firefighters don't like to eat pork, because when they go in to save people, the smell of burnt human flesh smells
like
like pork. So, I'm just saying that out there, even though it's meta as hell.
Is it?
And
though?
despite the fact that we saw that they had humans in these bandwagons, they were chopping them up, I think. So, I'll just let the information sit. If you want to eat it, be my guest.
If nothing else, there is goblin blood splattered all over it. Who knows what sort of
Yes, do you want to
Illness.
get goblin AIDS?
goblins? Exactly.
The most virulent.
Just looks a bit. Carrick just looks a bit disappointed. To be honest, up until I saw the blood, I was tempted.
I'm
Thank
not
you
saying
for.
you should. If you really want to eat it, go ahead. I'm interested.
No,
to see
Carrick
what
just throws it,
happens.
yeets it behind him, and just goes fucking ruined. Is there like a potato, a roast potato or something on the table at least?
There's a couple of them on the edge, yeah.
You would just grab them and just be like, "Yeah, these have been roasted." I just buy out of that. And he just looks at everyone as they're looking at him and just goes, "What? You can't waste food. It's not right.
At
There's
least you get
people,
some
there's
fine day.
people around the world that are starving because they're not given shit." And to be honest, I'm pretty hungry. He says that with a mouth full of potato.
As you're doing that, Brick wanders over with an arm full of food in what look to be like these small like satchels that he's like flung over his arm.
He sort of like points his, sort of like finger guns him and gives him a grisly smile with with a little bit of potato coming out of his
Just
cheek.
He brings over food that's not been bled on.
Carrick's, you know what? Carrick's got to take a sack as well. Why not?
So add, I'll say, how much time are you investing?
Not long at all. I'm just gonna grab one sack.
Okay.
That doesn't seem to be, as laboursome to just fling on my shoulder.
Add 3 days of rations.
Hey, let's go!
Anybody else?
Nope. I'm assuming this door is closed as well.
Yes. By the look of it, though, it is eked open just a little bit.
Just before we continue,
Mhm.
how hungry are we all? How long did we spend at that other place?
Well, you did
I mean, I ate rations.
spend a long rest, so you.
Oh yeah, we had rations. Forgot about that. Sorry, forget that.
Would you spell one? So, yeah, are you going through the door?
I guess.
Carrick's just gonna be, as we're waiting upon what we're doing to decide now, / opening a door, I'm just gonna be stuffing the bag of stuff I've had into my rucksack.
Okay.
Oh, I need to do this. Here we go. That way I can see. Okay. Yeah, I'm opening the door and walking through.
Okay.
There's a door
As you push open the door very slowly, make a perception check.
Okay. You see, I can roll above. Natural 8.
No.
No, I cannot. God.
So you're hit with a little bit of wind as it comes pouring through, and as you push the door open, you see lying on its backside, pressed lightly against the wall, looking forward, the Minotaur.
Oh shoot. Okay.
It's currently
Which
looking
way is it looking?
specifically this direction.
Okay. I stop. I take 3 steps back, not like very slowly, like one backing up from like a bear or something. And I shut the door slowly. I don't know if it's friendly or not, but just on the other side of the door and around the corner, that Minotaur that I told you all about is standing right there.
I forgot to note as well, actually, though it does have light on it at the moment to show its full form. Obviously, it's a large creature, yada yada. By the look of it, both of its horns have been ripped off, and it has a series of what look to be like fresh, bloodied wounds in around its body.
It looks like it's been tortured or hurt in some manner. Its horns are gone and it has wounds kind of all over it.
So you're saying we can take it?
Perhaps, maybe.
If worse
I mean,
comes to it.
yeah, if it comes to it, we probably could. We did just take on some elemental guardian just a moment ago. It came out fine.
To be fair, we didn't beat it. We beat the scales.
We endured it, at the very least.
Yes, that's the best word for it.
You're welcome, by the way.
We all helped Carrick. Does anyone have any sleeping spells? Maybe cast it to sleep? Or something?
We could just simply walk past it, see if it pursues us.
Nope.
I can cast sleep if I invoke my spores. However, I don't know if it'll even be necessary. I'd be losing spells and my final ability to either invoke my spores or wild shape, at least for a time.
Like I said, just simply walk past it. If it pursues us, then yeah. If it doesn't, because it's too weak, then yeah. Either or, you said we're preparing for a fight if we need to fight it anyway, so you know. What's the point of expanding spells we don't have when we can just maybe walk past it? And yeah, rather than going in swords and spells blazing, we could just simply walk past it.
We could attempt that. When I saw it last, it did see me and didn't do anything about it, so perhaps, if nothing else, it has a general sense of apathy toward us.
Yeah, don't want to sound like a simpleton at all, but like I said, walking past it's probably the most simplest thing to do.
I think it's worth a try.
I will open the door and start walking through.
As you open the door, its head slowly, it's almost like creaking as it turns toward you. From all the injuries and the like that it's taken, its body is slow to react. As it looks toward you, it watches you for a moment. You make it.
Is it holding anything?
At the moment, it does have what looks to be a long sword gripped very tightly in its hand, though the sword itself looks tiny in comparison to it.
It's like a dagger for it.
Yeah.
Feel.
In its other hand, it looks like it's holding something golden, but not like glowing golden, just something natural elemental golden.
Okay.
It's just looking, it's not engaging.
Nope.
Yeah, it just sort of like leans over to Halfie and just says, "Do you want me to walk in front, or are you feeling?"
Oh
right
no,
now?"
I was just looking at something on my sheet.
No, I was just saying in character.
In character. Halfway wash sheet. Do you mean scroll?
What's she on about?
I will just casually walk up to this. Well, kind of trying to walk past to see if it does anything.
As you all come around the corner, you notice a body. The body of a lizard man that is very much crushed, is an easy way to put it. The head is a splattered mess on the floor. The armor looks like it's been beaten with a heavy mallet. The legs have been made to a degree jelly and split off into directions and places you never thought a body could. The Minotaur, as you guys walk along, it looks at each of you, and as Brick's moving along, he makes very slow movements and holds up his hands, and the Minotaur looks toward him, and you hear a just gentle kind of like as he exhales very heavily through his nose.
Does he look hostile toward Brick? Do I need to roll an insight check on that?
Yes, please.
Screw these dice, man. Oh
You're
my
getting
God.
fucked today. On a base level, yes. About what, if he's going to do anything about it, you aren't sure.
I mean, I did see it like kill goblins earlier, so. Crap. Oh, crap.
Something? Or should we just leave him here?
I'm gonna. Which way did I come, Lee?
It was straight down.
Straight down. Okay. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna kind of bring up the rear. I'm going to. I'm gonna kind of hold. Let's see, am I close enough? Yeah, actually, I'm gonna hold chill touch in case he takes a hostile action toward Brick.
Mm-hmm.
Should we? Is like his chained here or something?
No,
Mm.
but there is what looks to be something that. There looks to be some kind of chain around his waist that's been broken by brute force, and his neck slumps in a kind of weird, loose way. So he
Uh-huh.
probably had some kind of binding at one point.
Just.
Should we help him or something?
I would suggest just to keep moving. I don't even know if we can communicate with this thing.
Oh.
He looks toward
Okay.
you when you say that.
Considering what happened the last time with the scales, you know, good actions and all that,
Mm.
maybe you could try and help it. I don't know. It didn't
Do you have
engage you, but maybe it's neutral. I'm just saying that out loud.
Do you have anything to help it?
I'm a monk. Do I look magic?
Fair point.
As much as you might be right, my magical potential is limited at the moment. I'd rather save it for if we need it.
What about some rations?
What about medicine check?
If you're willing, you can try.
I'll help.
One of you make a medicine check. Although, to be fair, I suppose showing your intention first would be a good idea.
I'll roll a medicine check because that was my idea.
Let's just approach carefully first and tell him. Try to communicate first.
Hmm.
So I'm going to say, "Can you understand us in every language that I know?
What languages do you have?
Common, Ignan, Dwarvish, Draconic."
You get it on Ignan.
Ah,
He-
hey, let's
Oh,
go.
Ignorant, really.
He replies back. You have my tongue.
You
Hmm.
have what?
You have my tongue.
So, is everything okay? Do you need something? Are you badly hurt?
He
What are you doing here,
He-
anyway?
cocks his head a little to the side, and then the eyes drift down toward his chest, where he's got a couple of scrapes and scratches and cuts. I need nothing. You need the key. And then He opens up his left hand very, very slowly, as if he's struggling to do so, and he kind of like holds his hand open, and you can see what looks to be a gold key on what looks to be a very rusted, what could have been a silver chain. And he just holds his hand open and kind of points to it with his head.
You're giving it to us?
It
What does it do?
opens prison. Others need help.
Where is the prison?
He just stares for a moment as if he doesn't know how to answer.
Is it here?
Yes. If I could move, I would show you. I think the creatures that were here are dead. That thing and its many lizard brothers invaded and took people. But the prison was locked. It should remain locked.
I see. And how many people are there? Are there like you or other prisoners?
There are two. I am the only one of mine here.
Okay, then. You stay here. I promise we'll take care of it. And we'll come back here to see if we can help you out of here.
He nods very
Just
slowly.
don't do anything rash. And tell the whole thing to everyone.
Hmm.
I'm going to address Brick,
Mhm.
and I'm going to say prison, jail.
He kind of looks at you, looks toward the Minotaur, and kind of points toward the Minotaur, and then points toward you. And then he makes a walking motion with his hands.
I'll show him the key, and I'm like, this?
Walks over, looks at it, looks at you, and just starts nodding very enthusiastically.
I'll try to like wave my hands and like where.
Okay, so he is going to start walking this. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me make sure I can get in the right direction. This way.
By the way, are we all on board on this?
Sort of like, sways his head and he's like, so we're going on a jailbreak?
We're going on a jailbreak, but considering the lizard people were here and killed everyone else, we should be fine, I guess.
This could be fun.
Yeah, let's go.
As Brick pushes this door open, a smell of just slight decay and just iron and blood in general just kind of hits for a second, and you see that there's some degree of bloodied instruments on a table. You take the hint as to what this room could have been. You see little bits of flying insects and the like currently moving in around the bloodied area that's dried up quite immensely by this point. As Brick walks through, you see he's like shuddering almost, and he very quickly goes from A to B and leaves the room, pushing the door open, holding
Axel
it.
walks through looking at everything and he's like, yeah, if this isn't a torture room, I don't know what is. Yeah, we can't get past the gate.
There's a dynamic lighting wall still there.
I love how that works when it's not needed to work.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so let me just turn it. There we go. So he gets all the way over here. to the far left.
Mhm.
As he gets to this point, there is a little opened up window with a couple of bars in the way. He kind of peeks inside as he's placing the key in the keyhole. Immediately, you hear the sounds of a gentle snoring, the sound of something making a little bit of a clicking noise against the floor, maybe a hoof or something. And as the door is pushed wide open, you see a couple of figures. As Brick walks in, firstly, this figure to the right is currently chained by the wrist to the wall, and he is battered and bruised. He looks to be a water genasi. What are you giggling at?
No, Carrick and Varnex were on top of each other, and Varnex tried to move him back and forth. It looked like they were both trying to get out of it, but they kept landing on each other.
This dude is very bloodied and beaten. He doesn't have anything on his person at the moment besides simple ragged robes. Water genasi, and he looks conscious, but he's not registering you at the moment. He's slumped against the wall. There's what looks to be some kind of like pig, a hog, something in a cage over there that's currently like bashing against the cage as it notices you arrive. And to your left, you see what looks to be a maybe 40s or so woman. You're not exactly sure what race she is. She looks like she could be a human, could be mistaken as a drow. There's nothing that really gives off any particular at the moment. She has, similar to the man, bare wraps of clothing, though she has some degree of what looks to be like feathers across the neck for warmth, plausibly. As you appear, she's sat in her cell, slumped against the back of it, and then her eyes immediately glisten a little as you appear.
Finally, someone has arrived. Did the village send you? It
Not
has
gonna lie,
been
I
so
kind of
long.
just stumbled across shore, and I'm kind of with these guys. These might be a part of the village. I sort of like turn to the others, be like, "Are you guys been sent by like a village or something?"
Expedition.
I sort of like turn to the lady and go, "Yeah, expedition."
She has...
Even though he says that enthusiastically, even though he doesn't know what the expedition is.
Make an insight check, Connor.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, that's the GM?
Yeah, I was tinkering with you. Shoot, you can put it back.
God damn it, man. But yeah, I rolled a 17 for everyone's knowledge.
So for a second, as you say that, and everything's kind of like a little fun for a second. You know, you're here to rescue. There is this moment of like a death stare, a feeling of disliking of you, after you kind of make a mockery of the moment. But as you look at her face, she does have one of desperation still, and it.
I sort of look at. Do I recognise that sort of look?
You see a face of desperation, but you feel an intensity from her to you.
I sort of look at, give her sort of like a serious look and just say, "To be honest, we're just here to jailbreak. Whatever other business you have is no business of mine. Or anyone else, so, you know. Just take the joy of, you know, being rescued by someone so valiant as myself."
She kind of leans forward, grasps at the lock that's currently on the door, and jostles it. And
I'd step back from that if I were you.
she creeps back very slowly, crawling backward in the very limited space.
I'm just going to take a crack at it.
Okay, make an attack. So very quickly, a perfect cleave, and the lock just falls and clatters to the ground, and the doors immediately slip open. As they slip open, she steps.
Pretty much. I'll give her a hand up if she needs, and just go. I sort of like offer a hand, being like, just to help you to your feet.
She takes the hand. She does a small nod. And as she looks you in the eyes for a moment, still lightly holding onto your hand, you see she gets a little bit closer and looks deeply into your eyes, as if she's peering through you for a moment. Make a constitution check, quick.
Just save or just pure
Check.
constitution? Gotcha.
Okay. There's this weird aromatic smell that kind of follows her, and as she gets a little bit closer, looking into your eyes, you smell it for a moment, and you kind of take a quick breath out, and whatever it was, the feeling kind of subsides, but it is a pleasant smell she has over her. She then leans back.
So is it pleasant or unpleasant?
Is a pleasant smell,
Okay.
despite the circumstances.
Hmm.
And as she leans back, lets go of your hand.
I feel as if I have met someone of your stature before. Those eyes, I don't know where. Nonetheless,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome. I suppose I look like, well, I'm just a regular guy, what can I say? There's plenty of us around the world. But no time to be dilly-dallying around here.
She pulls what looks to be this ornate at the top with a lot of pointed out protrusions, oaken staff, and uses it to slowly walk with. She doesn't seem like she really has any inability to
Need
walk.
for it.
Yeah, it seems more like a fashion choice, really.
What
Definitely.
about the other one over there?
Are you talking about the boar or the man?
I'll let you assume. Despite appearances, I think he might be of use to you if you get him back to a semblance of sanity. He was rambling on about some expedition as well. He might be of use.
I sort of look I sort of look over to everyone else and sort of like, hey, how about that? Someone in connection with you? And I look directly at Sol and just say, might be worth.
Yeah, sure. Let me take a look. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna poke him.
And Carrick just sort of like starts walking into it and just says, it'd be nice to go somewhere to, get some proper hot food and, actually get paid. And actually dry these surprisingly still damp clothes.
Well, if you're going where I hope you're going, I can promise a good meal for all of you for what you've done today.
Which Carrick just turns around with quite a hearty smile and goes, that sounds absolutely lovely.
We've lost a hef.
We've lost a hef.
What the hef?
Yes. What the hef? The heffy is going on.
So Mozilla, what are you doing with the guy?
Do we want to wait, maybe?
Can do.
Until Jeff gets back?
No.
Okay.
Well, while we wait
Then
then.
let's see.
What were you going to do? Check wise or anything? Or?
You said that he's sleeping, right? I just freaking blue screened.
Oh god, no.
Ah! Classic.
Don't stop. Keep going. That's what she said.
That's what I want to write. You know what? I'll do it anyway. Anyway.
Still got there ahead of you, bitch. You doing a check or anything, Mozzie?
You said that he's alive, just sleeping, right?
He's alive. His eyes are open. He just doesn't look
Okay,
like
what?
he's. He doesn't look like he's registering anything.
A delicate balance between being conscious and not conscious.
No, yeah.
Yes. I'll try to telepathically communicate with him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, "Hey, you're there? Anyone home?"
There's this flicker of what looks like a fogginess behind his eyes shift a little, and he blinks for the first time that you've seen him so far. And then his eyes slowly drift up, and you see his eyes blink more and more rapidly. He then starts to become a bit more emotive, and his left hand, though it looks like very weakened and bloodied, beaten in some places as well, strangely, his fingers are just stained with what looks to be like black char at the tips. He slowly moves his hand up, kind of like rubs the side of his head, and then he looks toward you with slowly rotating in a dizzy fashion his head, as he doesn't reply, but he's more cognitive at the very least.
Any walk?
He slowly tries to stand. He's still manacled to the wall, but he does stand.
I'm gonna help him up.
Mhm. As you help him stand, he kind of readjusts to, well, actually standing after who knows for how long. His legs wobble and buckle a little bit, but he places a hand against the wall and slowly steadies himself. You see a degree of life comes to him, enough to keep him stable.
I'm gonna wait for him to recuperate and
Mhm.
see what he has to say.
So he's taken a couple of minutes. He keeps his left eye closed, and his right eye flickers every now and again, as if he's waddling in between consciousness. Eventually, after standing for about a minute or two, he looks forward, hands on his cheek, and just opens his eyes properly. I don't suppose any of you know any restoratives. I have a banging headache.
Let's see. Restoratives, not really. Lee,
Mhm.
question.
Mhm.
Can I use my mind power to maybe muffle it out a little bit?
Hmm. Make your power is charisma, right?
Yeah.
Make a charisma check.
Fuck!
You.
His character just popped up on my screen.
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you do?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
On my screen too.
You attempt to alleviate some of the pain, but not having done this before, you're not sure where to start. It's more like you try to echo your voice into parts of his mind that can't be reached. But again, as it's a new thing for you, you're not sure where to start or what exactly to do. So it's more you speak into his mind for a moment to try and dull things. And he kind of looks at you. That's all well and good, but I'd rather just take it in stride if that's alright. Name's Adric
That's-
Bell. Pleasure to sort of meet you. He tries to
Sort of
reach for a handshake with whoever's in the way with the hand that's manacled. Then he realizes, gives you the other hand.
I'm gonna shake his hand and I'm gonna say, I'm Saul. I'm with the expedition.
His eyes kind of light up a little bit. Well, that's a good fucking start to our relationship. It's nice to meet you. Honestly,
Likewise.
I didn't think anyone else would be coming out this way. That's why I got sort of bundled up in all this mess. The people I were here with originally got captured and I think they got taken somewhere else. They were curious about me because of my heritage, but I suppose it's lucky, I guess. In a weird way.
looks at the manacles. He sort of like pops over and goes, "Yo, name's Carrick, by the way. Those manacles look mighty uncomfortable."
That they do. You got any quick whip situations or any skills with a lockpick?
Don't have a lockpick. Carrick just rustles through his pocket and goes, just shimmies around a dagger around sort of like his hands and twirls it and goes, "Will this work?"
Well, I guess we'll have to see, won't we? He kind of moves in a way that you've got perfect access to it, and he's straining the shackle against the wall, pulling the binds as far as he can outward. Well, I was going to say it would require a degree of flexibility.
I can.
Do you have
roll
any?
A,
Do you have any tools?
I can roll sleight of hand as well if you want.
Hold on, before that, do you have any tools?
I have smith tools,
Hmm.
but that's you may as well just use something that'll whack it anyway. So you know, or just use a dagger and a hammer and just
I'll give
I don't know.
you. You can either attempt to shimmy the lock itself on the manacles with a sleight of hand, or attempt to.
Yeah, sleight of hand.
Fair enough. So, as you're tinkering with the lock, the dagger seems to just about fit. You can just about get to where what feels like the single tumbler is, and you flick at it, and you kind of look as if something should happen, and nothing happens. He kind of shakes his wrist a little bit. You start to tinker at it a little bit more, and I'll say it'll keep you occupied for at least the next minute or so.
That's fine with me. As I'm doing that, I just go, "What's the story with the boar in the cage over there?"
I don't know. Dinner?
Sort of like Carrick looks at it and goes, "Looks a bit too refined to be dinner."
Oh, I don't know. It's either they capture some of them or they capture some dinosaurs, but I think one of them tastes a little bit tastier than the other. It wasn't me that caught it, by the way. It was something they rocked up with.
I assumed, considering, well, you're locked in here with it, so not exactly going to say you're the one who caught it.
Not sure if I should be insulted.
Yeah, no offence, but I'm not exactly going to assume that, well, you're the one who caught the thing and then they decided to lock you in here for the hell of it.
Kind of looks around, realises he's still, in the loosest degree, might as well be naked. And kind of just goes, "Well, given my current shambling appearance, I suppose I can't really talk about my skills at the moment."
Well, it's not the appearance of the man, it's it's what the man brings to the table is what matters.
Well, assuming I ever manage to get either my gear back or fresh gear, I'll hopefully get to show off what I can do with mostly blunt weapons, to be honest. But anyway, enough about that.
Well, I'm guessing at the end of this conversation I managed to shimmy the manacles up.
Yes. just at the end of that sentence, you hear a click, and the manacle falls off around his wrist, and you notice they had it on so tight, his wrist actually has a mark all the way around, and you can almost make out bone.
Yes.
Carrick sort of looks and go, "Oh, I'll get some glove. You ought to get some glove around that."
You see that he's already like, his arm immediately like drops down, and he just lets the blood flow, and he's just there making slight winces, but it looks more like a pleasurable kind of pain for the moment, as he's like, it's finally released, but it still stings like fuck. As well, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to just do some preparatory shit for tea, and we can wait for Jeff
Okay.
while that's in progress.
Gotcha.
Be right back.
Okay. He's doing that. I'm just going to put some stuff away. Yeah, we'll come running back when I hear Lee come back.
fuck is he?
Hello. Jeff, not here yet.
I mean, I'm currently distracted with making tea anyway, so I guess either or.
Yeah, I'm just putting stuff off. Well, moving various stuff around the room and such.
Hmm. Hmm.
Indeed.
Just
Yep.
hmm. Is everyone here actually here?
I'm here.
Present.
Yeah, I'm just like I said, I was just sorting some stuff out in my room. I was just taking the time while everyone was away to just sort it.
Yes. I was gonna say, shall we? If anyone's got anything they need to do, feel free to go and do it. But with no definitives from our dear Jeffrey at the moment, I don't wish to continue without him. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna go do food. If you guys want to go
Mhm.
off and do your own thing, and he's back before then, and you're wrapped up in your own shit, we'll just call session done and dusted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in other
The only other
words,
thing I was going to do is just uncage the ball and see what it does, but I would want Jeff back for that, just in case he's got anything to add.
so long story
So for
short,
now, that's the only thing I want to do.
if anybody wants a free get out a D&D card, here's your card.
You guys want to play some League? Something?
Yeah, do.
Sure. I'm going to be dealing with dinner though, so unless it's an RM, I cannot help.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll also rapid fire.
Nice.
Whatever you guys want.
Kirby, do you have League?
No. No, I don't.
I was always on a like 50-50 with that with you. I could never be sure. Good choice, by the way.
Yes, every week there's a 1 in 2 chance that might happen.
Ah, sarcasm.
Just gonna
Yeah,
finish putting some stuff away, and then I'll be back.
Mhm.
Can you guys hear it?
Hear what?
Hold on.
I'll accept the invite, but I've got to finish bits of stuff away.
I don't hear anything, my dude.
No, you don't?
What is
Oh.
it?
There's hold on. So there's a holiday
Mhm.
in Israel, which is called fucking Hol HaMoed.
Ah, I love
means-
fucking Holomwood.
Yeah. No, not Hol HaMoed. What was the name? Some Jewish name, okay?
Trust me,
Anyway.
I'm Jewish. I know these things.
Trust me, I know, yes. So, anyway, it's a holiday where you do like circles around the perimeter with like the holy scriptures.
Hmm.
So right now they're doing those circles right around my neighborhood with a van that blasts out music,
Oh.
and it's right outside my window.
Isn't it a bit late for that?
Huh?
Isn't it not a bit late for that?
It's the last lap, and legally, you can do it up until like 11, and it's currently quarter to 11.
That's
So
that's just cheeky.
yeah, but you know I'm sure people can get permits for longer, and this would